Well, we're here at the shop Sunday morning. Got to do a high pressure oil pump and my boss's Ford 6-liter. And first things first, wanted to get everything set up. So we got the jam set up over in the corner, my pad, gorilla stool, got the toolbox right here ready to go. But before I go ripping and tearing, the number one thing that I need to make sure of is where is the pump, and make sure I got the gaskets associated with it. Other than that, should be able to at least get it torn down today. But I know the pump's here, I just don't know where they put it. So I'm gonna go have a look-ski and then we'll start ripping and tearing. All right, got the pump ready. Now the tear down. We are on the road at this moment. I'm heading down to Palm Desert. I just got a phone call from an elderly gentleman who has a Chevy Colorado and wanted running boards installed on it. I was working on the 6-liter diesel, trying to put the HPOP in. Hopefully I still have enough time to try to get that done today. This is cash money right now, and it's all about trying to get that hustle on and also build a clientele at the same exact time. If you guys remember in the live stream, I kind of told you guys that I'm trying to make motion to save enough money up to open up a weekend shop, hopefully within the next 12 to 24 months, and then within 3 to 4 years, hopefully have enough clients and enough traffic coming in to just maintain permanently, and I can go that route completely. But it's all about building up to that. So unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of evenings and weekends that I'm going to have to sacrifice to work on the side, essentially getting my side hustle on, to stack that savings so that way we can make this dream a reality and not just talking about it but actually doing it. I took the phone call and I said, all right, I'll be heading on down. All right, there's the mounting brackets. There's our running board.
3 on each side, huh?
Yes, sir. And then under here is the plug. And that's the space that we're going to put the 8mm clip to hold on the rail. And it goes all the way back. All right, so you take the plug out from here, slide our clip into place like so. Should look something like that. And we're just gonna leave them loose for right now so we can get the other ones installed. And this is what the brackets look like when they're pre-hung. Now we gotta match it up and make sure everything looks like it fits good. Well, there's kind of a neat idea. They got a Coca-Cola for their mailbox holder. 2020 Chevy Colorado running board, epic fail. The trim package for the running boards that he has was incorrect. I think it was an extended cab. This is a quad cab, so he's gonna have to ship it back. And he said he'd get a hold of us next time. Was kind enough to give us 25 bucks for gas for coming all the way down here. So we look forward to putting these running boards on him for a later date. Well, we finally made it down to the high pressure oil pump. The turbo is completely soaked in oil. Not exactly sure what causes the turbo to suck up that much oil, but at any rate, I'll show you guys. You do have to pull the intake. I thought I could sneak the EGR cooler out, but there was no room for me to get enough wiggle room to slide it forward or backward and out. So Well, we'll put the EGR cooler back on the intake before installation to make our lives a little easier. But yes, I did have to pull the intake. All right, so here we go. There is our high pressure oil pump. I believe that is the IPR solenoid. So we're gonna rip this off and we're gonna put that one in. Just my absolute favorite, man. I was really hoping to put this thing back together today, but not spend all day hopefully doing it. And then that way I'd have the majority of my stuff put back before Monday. I don't have an O-ring. I don't have an O-ring for the high pressure oil pump. So that's gonna wrap it up. What makes matters worse, why I'm a little bit down right now, I just smashed almost every single one of these because I forgot I had them tucked into my sweatshirt pocket. We out of here. What's going on, everyone? Justin again, as always. Thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. So the day did not go as smooth as I originally had planned it. I got up fairly early. I got a great start to the day. Got to work when I would usually go to work. Started in on it. Lo and behold, got a call first thing in the morning. Ran down. Gentleman's name was Tony. Went to try to see if I could put the running boards on that 2020 Colorado. Couldn't. He bought the wrong trim package. So as a result, helped him box everything back up so we can get it shipped back to Amazon, get the right one, and then he'll give me a call back and we'll just go down another weekend and I'll see if I can't film it a little bit better than I did. It was kind of on the fly. I wasn't really prepared. I didn't bring any tripods or anything like that. So I was just pretty much holding my phone. But at any rate, you know, I hadn't done mobile mechanic work in almost a decade, and it kind of took me back a little bit. I was like, man, I remember doing runs like this, you know, taking off on a whim, hoping you had it, everything. I took some trays from work that I had with the tools from the gear wrench mechanic set, just tossed them in the car, took a bag, threw a couple of cordless options in there to make things a little bit faster, tossed them in, and then gone, right? Would have been a great day money-wise, because I would have got 75 bucks for doing the running boards, which would have been great. Would have covered the 25 bucks that I put in gas, plus we'd have 50 extra bucks a day. Maybe it wouldn't have been so sad that I smashed my cigarettes. But that didn't happen, unfortunately. We were able to recoup the money that we basically put in the gas tank to get down there to begin with. We'll come back at a later date to that. Went back to the shop to try to make my side hustle on again to finish the HPOP. That didn't happen. Didn't have the appropriate sized O-ring for the high pressure oil pump. So that job didn't go anywhere. Now I have a disaster, a mess of tools everywhere, and then I have to start work on Monday. Needless to say, trying to get that hustle on and pulling extra time on your days off has not been exactly my most favorite. I feel like I've been on an absolute stopwatch night and day over the weekends, during the evenings. I just feel like I've never actually gotten any kind of a break, but I guess that's the idea. I guess the idea is that if I keep pushing, if I can keep saving, maybe I'll get to a point where I have enough money saved for things like a lift, for, you know, 6 months to a year's worth of shop expenditures, not to mention the licensing, the insurance, the certification fees that you need from like bar and things like that, business cards, which the gentleman did ask me about, and I was like, honestly, I just haven't had any made yet. So he just jotted my number down, but you really start thinking about, I mean, look, I was thinking about it, okay? I'm like, all right, I'd really like to give myself 12 to 24 months to stack up enough capital to hopefully maintain business if I had 0 customers come into my shop for a 12-month stretch. Now that's weird, right? That really shouldn't happen, especially if you're open and you're there and you're visible to the passing car. Says anything auto shop, you're probably going to get a customer at some point. But let's just be hypothetical. Let's say I got 0 customers the entire year. I'd like to know that I actually have enough money to fund all my expenditures. I didn't realize how much it was going to cost, so I gave myself a 1 to 2 year window to make it happen. And it seems like the last few weekends I've trying to step up my game as far as creating ads for Facebook, Craigslist, and trying to get extra side work come in. It's been extremely slow, but then spending the weekends now instead of having the time off to kind of enjoy and kick back with either you guys or the family by shooting videos or just hanging out here at the house and watching football. It's ranch all day, all long. I'm a little bit under the gun. Maybe I've put a little bit extra stress on myself. It is what it is, but everything is on a time crunch right now. In reality, when I open the shop, I would like to be more specialized than anything else. I told myself, maybe if I just stuck to Jeeps, because I know Jeeps really well inside and out. I feel very confident and comfortable with those. Doing head jobs, pulling transmissions, brakes. Might be a little bit easier for me to troubleshoot and diagnose too, since I used to do that at Chrysler for a wee bit. And then of course, I'll have extra time to make phone calls to those guys in the Facebook group that are diagnostic techs already. So if I run into something weird or I'm not sure, I can give Nathan a call, or I can give Rob a call, or I can give Chad a call, or PJ, and then just go from there, or shoot Mario a message on Facebook and see what he thinks, So I think in the diagnostic aspect, that part doesn't concern me too much, but I don't want to get caught up and wrapped up in a job, because I get it. Look, a lot of people have this notion, they're like, well, you're not going to make a lot of money if you're specialized just in one thing. I think I will. I mean, depends on what your version of a lot of money is. For me, I don't need to make $1 million a year, okay? For me, I just be happy working on something that I actually get enjoyment out of working on and get proficiently better at working on it. So that would be my thing. And because I'm so specialized, because of the area that I live in, because of the demographic and all the people that own Jeeps up here in this area, and not being able to be seen on the weekend, I think maybe I might have a little something to offer that other shops don't, especially when it comes to working on Jeeps. Will I take anything else in? Sure, man. Look, I mean, even today, for instance, the guy had a 2020 Colorado wanted running boards tossed on. How hard can it be? It's a few bolts, you toss it on. Most shops going to charge about an hour to do it. I didn't figure it taking me any longer than maybe 30 minutes. Spent about 15 to 20 minutes kind of messing around with the bolts and the brackets to see why it wasn't lining up, only to realize they got the wrong one for the trim. No big deal. We'll go back. We'll finish it up. He'll be happy, and maybe if he has a bigger problem, maybe he'll give me a call. So I didn't charge him very much. I was like, I don't know, 50 bucks? 50 bucks sounded pretty reasonable. He offered me $25 for gas if I was able to go down to him. So it would have been a $75 adventure, right? $50 in profit, $25 in gas. So I don't know, man. This is my first time stepping back in on my own, going back into the world of mobile wrenching, which I'm not a huge fan of. I'd prefer it if somebody just dropped their vehicle off at my house and let me just go to town. But there are going to be jobs that pop up that do interest me, and maybe they're not Jeep related. For instance, I got an email from a fellow YouTube subscriber that just so happens to live in the area. Not too far away, but far enough away that being a mobile mechanic to go down there to do that would not be feasible. But at any rate, it's basically, he's got a diesel, Chevy diesel, that's a glorified small block Chevy 350 apparently, and needs the pistons installed, rings, rods, all that stuff, main bearings, caps, maybe slide the cam in, timing cover, maybe heads, not sure. Waiting to hear feedback from him, but I was like, oh, cool, an engine rebuild, and on a 350. I could do that. I could do that right here in the garage, so especially if he's not in a huge rush. He gets the kit and gets the parts and gives me the time, and if I need something special, or I can't find my piston ring compression tool that I have, I'll just get another one off Amazon, so no big deal. But that would give us some really good content. So I was like, I don't know. Thought 250 bucks sounded pretty reasonable to rebuild his engine, depending on what components he wanted to put back on it, and if he can bring it up and drop it off. So time will tell. Interesting projects ahead of us now that I have ads up and got people calling. So we'll just see how it goes from here, guys. But I don't mind talking about the fact that I want to own my own shop in the next 12 to 24 months, at least for the weekends, like a weekend shop. And then if in 3 to 4 years, if I feel like I've got a stable enough customer flow coming in, and I can match or exceed the wages that I'm currently getting, then I'll step into it full time, and then I'll walk away from the independent life and just go full time. So that's kind of what I got going on right now for that. As a result of our failed little adventure, it wasn't a day without having any kind of fun. I did make sure to stop by Lowe's for you guys. I'll be posting the mechanic specials over at Lowe's and all the hot deals that I think are well worth it, not just in Craftsman, but also in Cobalt. We'll take a look at their mechanic sets, their regular hand tools that they have on sale for stocking stuffers, as well as their toolboxes. So we'll see you guys then. Cheers and deuces.